What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. I am your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. You know I got another banger for you, so kick back, relax, and come take a ride with me.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
Look, flat out, Caitlin Clark is the face of the league right now. One of the most elite players at her position in year one. Just fresh off knocking off the Olympic team in the WNBA All-Star Game. Leads the league in assists. Must-watch TV. Most sold jersey in the league. Has revenue up 500% along with Angel Reese for jersey sales and merch in the WNBA. The Caitlin Clark effect is in full effect. Right now, we're witnessing in real-time history. And during the All-Star break, we noticed that some players, some teams were looking to recruit Caitlin Clark. They were talking to her, dropping some bugs in her ear because everybody knows she is the golden ticket. Wherever she goes, games are sold out. Venues are moved and money is made. Those advertisement dollars. We just saw the WNBA sign a $2.2 billion TV deal. They got charter flights, extra security. They have completely leveled up, and I don't think we've seen one player impact the sport since maybe LeBron when he came to the NBA, just upping the revenue. It is madness, man. I want to talk about if the Indiana Fever do end up fumbling the bag, which they have in the past, and lost some good players. If they do end up fumbling the bag with Caitlin Clark, where are some potential destinations she could land, potential landing spots for Clark? We're going to talk about it in this video, man. So first off, I want to start off with the New York Liberty because they are a big market team and they have I think just the team already, man. And I want to tell y'all, let's look at the roster really quick. So looking at the breakdown, y'all see that Lainey Hamilton, $580,000 total at $588,801. You got Sabrina under contract for 2 more years as well. Jonquel Jones, Courtney Vandersloot for 2 more years. And you got Stewart for 1 more year. You know she's getting that bag, though. They're definitely going to re-sign her. But looking at it, man, honestly, I think they would have to move Sabrina Ionescu. Now, it comes to a point where you have to decide. Right now, I would say that she is a better player than Caitlin. But this would be a great trade. They trade Ionescu to the Indiana Fever for Caitlin Clark. They feel like it's an upgrade that maybe she would mesh better with this lineup, with Breanna Stewart, with Jonquel Jones. Maybe they decide to turn the keys over to a more traditional point guard. I mean, you think of the upside, man. Caitlin has a lot more upside than Sabrina, especially at the point guard position. I would say she is a better point guard. Sabrina, more of a combo guard, man. We know she can shoot the ball and she can play make a bit. But can she run a team? We have not seen her proven. She's not proven that yet. We have not seen if Sabrina can run a team. Now, you put Caitlin Clark with Stewie and Jonquel Jones. That's the most talent she's ever played with on one roster. You still got Vandersloot as well, who's a playmaker that runs the point guard for them also. I think it could be an upgrade for this roster. And then you think about New York and how they would embrace a star like Caitlin Clark, man. Y'all know how crazy New York is about their sports. We've seen fans come out and say if she was to be traded, if she was to go somewhere else, they would like to see her play with Stewie in New York. And it makes a lot of sense from a basketball standpoint, how she would impact this roster and really be dishing the ball. And she's leading the league in assists. There's nobody on the New York Liberty that are passing the rock like her right now. You get her with Stewie, you get her with Jonquel Jones in that pick and roll action. She can shoot the basketball lights out, deep, unlimited range. And then you add in the marketability in New York, man. All eyes would be on the Liberty, and she would get a chance to legitimately compete for a championship. We're talking about a team that fell short in the finals last year. And it might be a long shot. They already feel like they have a championship team, and they just might. They've been the best team in the WNBA so far through the first half of the season. So making a move this drastic might not be on the menu. But if we're just saying what ifs, I think this would be an exceptional fit for Clark. Speaking of big market teams, we will be remiss to not bring up the 2-time defending champion Las Vegas Aces. Now, this might be a shot in the dark for some people, But thinking about the fact that Kate Martin is a valuable player with this organization as a rookie, she's fourth in jersey sales, which I think is absolutely bananas. But pairing her up with Caitlin Clark and Gustafsson, having 3 Iowa Hawkeyes on this team, and you talk about marketability. Asia Wilson is top 5. She's third in total jersey sales. The Aces are third in total merchandise jersey sales right now. They're selling out at venues. They don't necessarily need Caitlin Clark, but if they were to make that move and trade Kelsey Plum or Chelsea Gray, Kelsey Plum or Chelsea Gray, I would say they trade Chelsea Gray. Right now, we've seen that Chelsea Gray is a shell of herself, and at this moment in time, respectfully, Caitlin Clark is a better point guard than Chelsea Gray at this moment. She's not 100%. It looks like she's still getting back right, man. She missed a lot of the season. It seems like she's still getting back into basketball shape and finding her rhythm within the flow of the game. She's had one big game, but she's looked like a shell of herself in the Olympics as well as in the WNBA season so far. Clark, again, leading the league in assists. She's younger. She's playing the best basketball of any point guard in the league, arguably. This team can run and gun the same way, pass the basketball. Great ball movement from everybody. It'll be less pressure on her than there is in Indiana. And, of course, her best friend, Kate Martin, was there. From a marketability standpoint, that would be major. You would have 3 of the top 5 highest selling athletes in the WNBA on the same team. And y'all know Al Davis will spend that money. He is not playing around. The facilities, the fan support, and the salaries, they're not afraid to pay players. They're landing NIL deals for players. Like the Las Vegas Aces are the blueprint right now. And could you imagine Coach Becky Hammon getting her hands on a Caitlin Clark? She would truly flourish under a head coach that's competent, that has the basketball IQ to match her, that has played the position, that has coached in the NBA, that has a championship pedigree. The first coach she would coach with a championship play under with a championship pedigree under than Cheryl Miller. Like, Hammond would do work with Caitlin Clark, mold her into the perfect point guard to make this engine go. Asia Wilson's just hitting her prime, still in her young years. Jackie Young is still young. Kelsey Plum. Like, this team would be much improved, I think, right now at this moment if they swap Chelsea Gray for Caitlin Clark and let her run the show for this Las Vegas Aces team. Now, the Aces don't necessarily need her. They're like these 2 teams that I mentioned before are already champion. We're talking about 2 teams that played in the WNBA Finals last year. So they're arguably championship teams right now. And, with the Aces, I don't see them breaking up the team that's won 2 straight titles, especially when they're going for a third. But maybe down the line, this is a realistic possibility. More so in the near future, though, 2 more teams I want to look at. 1, the Chicago Sky. 2, the Minnesota Lynx. Now, the Sky just picked up a first-round draft pick that they can use as leverage. People are saying that they need to free Camila Cardoso and let her develop elsewhere. Whoever is working with Aaliyah Boston on her footwork needs to have Camila Cardoso in the gym as well. And playing with Aaliyah Boston, especially if the Fever if they get rid of Nalissa Smith, which a lot of people are feeling like her time is almost coming to an end. You make that move for Camila Cardoso, get a first-round pick, and possibly land Caitlin Clark as well. Not saying that's the entire trade. You definitely got to throw some more incentives and maybe a couple more pieces in there from the Sky. But we've seen Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark make a dynamic duo. We just saw them take down the Olympic team. This pick and roll, the way Caitlin likes to dish the rock, get it out fast with those full-court outlet passes. Angel Reese is like a tight end. Great, exceptional hands, and some of the best body control I've seen in the entire league, man. She can catch a full court heave and put it up in the same motion, man. Great body control. She's super physical, and we're talking about another face of the league that is leading the league in rebounds right now. You talk about marketability. The 2 top, arguably the most popular, heavily followed players in the league on the same team. We've never seen anything like it. The 2 top players with the highest selling jerseys in the league on the same team. Every game would have to be in the United Center at home. On top of that, we know that the Chicago Sky lost Kalia Copper and Marina Mabry partially because of their facilities was trash and they was practicing at a rec center. That is changing. They're opening up a brand new state-of-the-art practice facility for this team coming in the next few months. That is a game changer for a player like Caitlin Clark, who is going to command an uncontrollable amount of attention, man. You want to make sure that she's there, she's comfortable. Chicago is one of the best sports cities out there. Embraces the Sky. They are a championship winning program. Teaspoon would definitely help continue to develop that defense. And imagine the Sky are a point guard away. Kennedy Carter is sensational. They lose Marina Mabry, which is a big loss in my opinion. You need a guard that can pass first, but also stretch the floor with their shooting. Enter Caitlin Clark, who can also be reliable on the defensive side of this basketball as well for the Sky, because we know they lock up on defense. But her development with Angel Reese in the pick and roll, I think, could be sensational, especially as Angel Reese is just scratching the surface on this match, on her game, man. We're seeing her extend her range, shoot mid-range, not afraid to shoot the three-pointer. Her and Caitlin, I think, they thoroughly enjoy playing together. This was not the last time we see them play together. I think they both will be a big part of Team USA's Olympic team in 2028. But it seems like they definitely want to be teammates in the future, man. There's a lot of love and respect there despite this narrative of the rivalry that a lot of the media and the fans are pushing. They definitely enjoy playing together, and they're both looking forward to playing with each other again. Angel even said this is not the last time we're going to be teammates. I don't feel like it. And Chicago has some leverage, like I said, with the draft picks, with the young talent. Could they make that move? That is one thing to watch. My last team is the Minnesota Lynx. The biggest contracts to look at are Nafisa Collier as well as Caleb McBride, who are not locked in for the next couple of seasons. You also got Courtney Williams, and you wonder what Alyssa Peely. That could be a trade piece for them. You look at maybe a first-round pick and move in Peely, and you probably got to throw in Diamond Miller as well, I would suggest. But you think about Diamond Miller, Alyssa Peely, and a pick or two for Caitlin Clark. I mean, that is quite a haul just thinking about what Alyssa Peely has already shown in very limited time. She is one of the most dynamic scorers in this draft that, we've seen her have 2 20-plus point games already. She's dynamic. We know that she can shoot the three at her size. She is a walking mismatch. She can get to the cup, take you off the dribble, and body smaller defenders. I think the biggest question is really figuring out what she's going to guard. But you look at it, if you can keep McBride and Caitlin Clark together in a backcourt, I mean, you're talking about maybe one of the best shooting backcourts in the league. I would say McBride is the best shooter in the league, in my opinion. Other than Alicia Gray, man, we got to give her props winning the three-point shootout. But McBride is knocked down. She's a capable playmaker, plays either guard position, is a veteran with this group, and really stepped up her game when Collier went out with a foot injury. Then you got Nafisa Collier. Imagine her in the pick and roll. Imagine how you see how she likes to beat other defenders down. She loves to beat her matchup down the court. She's agile. She can play on the perimeter. She can play in the paint. You think about Caitlin finding her for easy looks. I know there's that beef that people think there is between Cheryl Reeve, the head coach, the longest tenured head coach. So this might be a reach if there's really some animosity there. But it wasn't Reeve alone that left Caitlin Clark off the Olympic team. And I know Caitlin came in there and spoiled Maya Moore's homecoming retirement of her jersey. That definitely had to rub some people the wrong way. So, there could be some tension there, and that may, winning cures all. That may stop this from ever coming into fruition. But we got to remember, Caitlin was a lifelong Minnesota Lynx fan and grew up playing with Maya Moore. So why wouldn't she, in the back of her mind, at least a small part of her, want to revive that franchise and help them get back to the glory she saw her childhood idol get to? There's that. I'm just throwing that out there. Now, I understand there's the beef with Cheryl Reeves potentially that people are talking about. I don't really think there's a beef there personally, but, we've talked about it before. But Reeves is a good coach. She's old school. She's no nonsense, but they play team basketball. And with a point guard like Clark to move the basketball, to be the key of that ignition, that would be one of the toughest offenses to guard. They could play fast. They could play half court. She would be put in positions to succeed with a championship franchise that has stability. All these franchises have stability, man. The reason I'm even doing this is because of the fact, the instability of the Indiana Fever, them fumbling, and the dumpster fire that is Christie sides as well as Linn Dunn. Like, it's terrible. They are fumbling right now, so I don't think that it's far-fetched that Caitlin Clark would want to bounce up out of there. I'm just saying. So that was the purpose of this list. Y'all let me know who y'all think is more likely. Should we talk about the Sparks as well being in that group? Y'all holler at me. Let me know if we missed anybody. And let me know y'all's thoughts on Caitlin Clark's potential landing destinations and where she could go. That's a wrap for us. For all the latest and the greatest, I am Brandon Blakeney, a.k.a. Brandon Lee TV. Till next time, we out.